Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to say will not just reach your ears, it will awaken something deep within your spirit. God is about to surprise you in a way that will rewrite your story. You may not see it coming, you may not even feel ready for it, but heaven has already released the command in your favor. The doors that once refused to open are about to unlock on their own. The very people who overlooked you will have no choice but to witness your rise. You have no idea how close you are to a divine turning point. God is setting up something so great, so unexpected, that it will silence every voice that doubted you. You see, when God is preparing to do something extraordinary, He often allows your life to appear ordinary first. He lets you walk through quiet valleys, through dry places, through nights that test your strength, not to break you, but to prepare you for what's coming. Those unanswered prayers, those hidden seasons, those lonely moments, none of it is wasted. What looks like stillness is divine strategy. What feels like delay is heaven's perfect timing. God hides His biggest miracles behind what feels like nothing. When you think He's doing the least, He's actually setting the stage for the greatest reveal. You might think the silence means He's distant, but in truth, He's closer than ever. He's rearranging people, shifting circumstances, and aligning moments so that when He moves, everything happens all at once. That's how divine favor works. It builds quietly, layer upon layer, until suddenly it bursts forth like a mighty wind. When God decides your moment has come, no one can delay it. No system, no opinion, no force can stand against what has already been written with your name on it. Some of you have been walking through confusion, wondering why doors aren't opening yet, why effort isn't producing results, why faith feels heavy. You've prayed, you've sown, you've waited, and still, you find yourself hidden in the shadows. But here, this hidden does not mean forgotten. Concealed does not mean canceled. God hides His most valuable treasures until the right season. Think of how gold is buried deep in the earth. It's not seen, but it's there gaining value, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. That's what God is doing with you. When your time comes, He won't need approval. He won't need to ask permission. He will simply move. And when He moves, it will be sudden, unstoppable, undeniable. That's what it means when I say God is about to shock you with favor. He's not going to give you small blessings. He's going to overflow your life with goodness you didn't even have the words to pray for. Doors will open you never knocked on. Opportunities will find you before you search for them. People will begin to speak your name in rooms you've never entered. And when they ask, how did this happen? Your only answer will be, it was God. Because divine favor cannot be explained. It can only be witnessed. Understand this: God's favor is not earned, it's given. It doesn't come because you were perfect, it comes because He is merciful. Your flaws don't cancel it. Your failures don't block it. Your past doesn't disqualify you. When God decides to bless you, His grace overrides every mistake. The fire you walked through wasn't there to destroy you, it was refining you for favor. The waiting you endured wasn't delay, it was preparation. The silence wasn't punishment, it was strategy. You were never forgotten, you were being developed. So now, get ready, because heaven has finished its preparation, and the command has already gone forth. The next thing God does in your life will be so sudden, so overwhelming, that you will stand in awe. You are about to become living proof that when God favors you, nothing, absolutely nothing can stop it. God is working behind the curtains, writing your breakthrough into existence with precision only heaven can orchestrate. Every delay you faced was never a denial. It was divine alignment preparing the perfect moment for your unveiling. God's timeline doesn't follow human clocks. And when the hour of heaven strikes your name, nothing on earth can resist it. Some of you have wept quietly in rooms no one will ever see. You've been faithful when no one clapped for your faithfulness. You've served people who never appreciated your kindness. You've planted seeds in barren ground, believing that one day something beautiful would grow. And now that day is near. God has seen every unseen act of obedience. He has collected every tear as evidence of your endurance. He has watched you remain humble when pride could have been easier. What you did in private, He is about to honor in public. The season of secret pain is turning into a season of visible glory. The same ground where you cried will become the ground where you testify. God never forgets faithfulness. He never ignores trust, even when it's trembling. You weren't tested to be broken. You were tested to be built. You weren't hidden to be punished. You were hidden to be prepared. God knew that certain blessings required deeper roots, stronger character, and unwavering endurance. So He kept you in the shadows until your strength could sustain your spotlight. That's why it took longer than you expected. It wasn't a pause. It was preparation. And now that preparation is meeting its purpose, the ones who ignored you will soon witness what divine favor can do. Those who counted you out will be forced to count what God pours into your life. When God decides to favor someone, He doesn't do it quietly. He announces it in ways that no one can deny. When favor arrives, it shatters boundaries, overturns verdicts, rewrites outcomes, and makes the impossible possible. Favor turns rejection into recognition, mockery into honor, and emptiness into overflow. You may lack credentials, but favor will endorse you. You may lack connections, but favor will introduce you. You may lack strength, but favor will carry you where effort could never take you. That's why you must stop striving to manufacture what only God can manifest. Human validation is not a prerequisite when divine approval is already written over your name. There are doors that only God can open, seasons that only He can release, and moments when heaven whispers, "Now it's your turn." That moment is near. The reason your spirit has been unsettled, the reason you feel that stirring deep inside, is because heaven has already decided that your season is shifting. You are standing on the edge of divine acceleration. Don't lose faith now. Don't let the waiting make you forget what God promised. The breakthrough being crafted for you will not only bless your present, it will redeem your past. It will restore every loss, recover every stolen year, and vindicate every silent season. God has never ended a story in defeat, and yours will be no exception. You might not understand it now, but soon you will look back and say, "Now I see why it had to happen this way." Every delay was direction. Every setback was set up. Every disappointment was divine protection. God has been working the entire time, ensuring that what's meant for you will not miss you. So stop chasing what's already written in your favor. Keep walking in faith, keep trusting His hand, even when you can't trace His plan, because what's coming next will make you forget the pain of waiting. Favor is about to find you, and when it does, nothing will ever be the same again. God's timing may not align with your calendar, but it's always flawless, precise, and purposeful. When He moves, He can accomplish in one moment what human effort could never achieve in a lifetime. You are standing on the edge of that kind of miracle, the kind that defies logic and explanation. Soon you will witness blessings that make no earthly sense. Doors will open, opportunities will unfold, and situations will shift so suddenly that even you will be left speechless. People will question how everything turned in your favor, and your only response will be, "God did it." That's how He works. He takes impossible circumstances and transforms them into undeniable testimonies. He delights in taking ordinary lives and clothing them in extraordinary favor. You don't have to know how it will happen. You just have to believe that it will. Faith is the divine signal that tells heaven you're ready. When you trust in the unseen hand of God, you give permission for the supernatural to invade the natural. Even as you listen now, heaven is at work on your behalf. God is rearranging situations, shifting people, and aligning moments to fit your destiny. Your name is being mentioned in places your feet haven't yet walked. Opportunities are being designed that will astonish you. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned for manifestation. You may feel like time is slipping away, but God holds time in His hands, and He is never late. When His appointed hour arrives, everything that was delayed will suddenly be released like a flood. Blessings will overflow faster than you can receive them. Favor will overtake you, and what once seemed distant will become your reality. But as you prepare for what's coming, remember this. Favor is not just about what you gain, it's about who you become. God is about to overwhelm you with abundance, but He also desires your heart to stay anchored in humility. The purpose of the blessing is not to pull you away from Him, but to draw you nearer. Favor without faith breeds pride, but favor grounded in faith becomes a beacon of God's glory. He wants your success to reflect His power, not your own strength. So do not confine God to logic or limit Him to your understanding. The same God who spoke galaxies into existence can transform your life without explanation. He can promote you without credentials, heal you without medicine, and open doors that were never built before. He can elevate you from obscurity to influence in a single breath of favor. One touch from His hand can do more than years of struggle ever could. And yes, I know the waiting has been long, but waiting refines your faith and shapes your character for what's ahead. If blessings came easily, you'd forget who gave them. If every prayer was answered instantly, you'd never learn trust. The closed doors you faced were not rejection, they were protection. The valleys you walked through prepared you for the mountain. When you finally rise, you'll rise with gratitude instead of pride, knowing it was not luck, not chance, but the goodness of God. And hear me, when God favors you, He also covers you. He silences the voices that spoke against you, exposes the ones who pretended to support you, and removes those who can't handle your next level. Don't mourn what walked away. It was never meant to stay. If someone's absence could stop your destiny, God would have kept them in your life. The truth is, your circle may shrink, but your calling will expand. What's coming will not require everyone's approval. It only needs God's appointment. So stand still, stay faithful, and get ready, because the same God who began your story is about to finish it with undeniable favor. God is not preparing you for something small or ordinary. He is preparing you for something remarkable, something that will echo beyond your own life. Your story will awaken faith in others. Your rise will breathe life into hearts that have lost hope. Your victory will stand as undeniable proof that trusting God is never in vain. You are not being blessed just for yourself. You are being positioned as a vessel of light, a living testimony that no one who places their confidence in Him is ever disappointed. Even now, heaven is working on your behalf. Though you may not see the movement or hear the sound, divine arrangements are unfolding silently but powerfully. The next chapter of your journey will look nothing like the one before it. The tears you've shed, the waiting you've endured, and the weight you've carried have not been wasted. God is declaring, now is your time. His favor is about to locate you. What was lost will return in greater measure. What you prayed for will come in ways that will surpass your imagination. You won't need to chase it or plead for it. It will pursue you effortlessly. Just as the sun rises without being invited, favor appears when the moment is right, and that moment is near. You will recognize the signs. Doors that once refused to open will unlock with ease. People who overlooked you will now be drawn to you. Inspired ideas will flood your mind, leading to success. Peace will replace anxiety and assurance will settle in your heart. God will confirm His favor with unmistakable clarity. You won't have to wonder if it's Him. You'll know. Before God releases favor, He examines your heart, not to test your worth, but to gauge your readiness. Many desire blessings, yet few are prepared for the weight of responsibility they carry. True favor is not light, it has substance. It demands humility, maturity, and patience. When God delays, it is not neglect, it is nurturing. He molds you through the weight so that when the blessing arrives, it will not destroy you. He never builds tall without first laying a strong foundation. So if your waiting has stretched longer than expected, recognize this time as sacred, not wasted. In the unseen, God has been fortifying your soul, pruning away what cannot grow with you, stretching your capacity, refining your faith, and anchoring your spirit in trust. You may have felt stagnant, but you've been developing unseen strength, growing roots that will sustain your rise. When the favor of God finally manifests, it will not just lift you, it will keep you steady. God conceals His plans at times because the full picture might overwhelm you. His silence is not abandonment, it is protection. He hides you until the environment around you is fertile enough for His promise to flourish. You cannot plant seeds in frozen ground, and God will not bloom your destiny in an unready season. So He waits until the soil of your heart is mature, until your spirit is grounded, and then He commands favor to blossom. The quiet you feel now is not emptiness. It is the sacred whisper of preparation. God often speaks softly before He reveals loudly. What He conceals in stillness today, He will soon announce in glory. When you feel forgotten and the heavens seem silent, remember this sacred truth. Silence is not abandonment, it is the womb of miracles. In stillness, God is forming something extraordinary. He never leaves you where He found you. Every valley you walk through is a passage leading to a higher purpose if you keep moving forward. When His favor finally arrives, it doesn't just change your surroundings. It transforms your entire atmosphere. Resistance turns into recognition, closed doors become open invitations, scarcity becomes abundance, and weariness becomes strength. You won't need to chase validation or fight for visibility because God Himself will spotlight you. You won't need to prove your worth because His favor will make your value undeniable. But before this elevation comes, surrender must come first. Release the urge to control outcomes. Let go of the anxiety that demands answers. Trust that His plan is superior to your understanding. Real faith is not built on sight, but on certainty in the unseen. Those who truly trust God learn to rest even when they cannot predict what comes next, because they understand that alignment with His will always leads to victory, even if it first appears as defeat. Sometimes divine favor comes dressed in loss. Sometimes blessing feels like breaking. Yet every ending in God's hand is the seed of a greater beginning. He never removes without replacing, never closes without upgrading. Stop grieving what He has already replaced in heaven's plan. What you lost was temporary, but what is coming will carry eternal weight. Favor isn't about having everything. It's about having God in everything. When He is with you, even little becomes more than enough. One idea breathed by Him can transform your destiny. One encounter can redirect your future. One act of obedience can unlock blessings beyond imagination. You don't need the crowd's approval when you have God's backing. And when His favor rests upon you, no human opposition can reverse it. Do not be discouraged if pressure intensifies right before your breakthrough. The battle always grows fiercest before the blessing unfolds. The closer you move toward divine elevation, the more resistance rises, because darkness fights hardest against what it cannot stop. The storm is a sign of the dawn that's about to break. So, when life presses hard, lift your head with confidence. God is confirming your breakthrough. Favor isn't only about receiving, it's about becoming. When God blesses you, it's so that His light can flow through you. The blessings you're about to receive will not stop with you. They will extend beyond you. You will become a channel of kindness, a vessel of wisdom, a living reflection of divine generosity. People will find peace in your presence because God's glory will dwell upon you. That's why humility is essential. Because the higher He takes you, the deeper your heart must bow before Him. Many have misunderstood your faith, mocked your patience, and criticized your hope during this hidden season. But remember, favor only makes sense to those who see with the eyes of faith. God loves to crown the very ones the world cast aside. He delights in turning impossibility into testimony. And soon, those who once doubted you will have no choice but to honor what God has done through you. His favor will speak louder than any defense you could offer. For He is not only the giver of favor, He is its sustainer. The same hand that lifts you will be the hand that keeps you there. And when the blessings begin to overflow, keep your gaze on the source, not the success. Never let the glory of your rise make you forget the grace that opened the door. Every word of trust becomes a stepping stone toward breakthrough, because divine favor is never just about gain. It is about alignment with a higher purpose. It is the peace that remains firm when circumstances tremble, the wisdom that no deceit can steal, and the strength that endures even when everything around collapses. Walking with God in harmony gives us security deeper than outcomes, a calm that remains even when plans fall apart because the one leading never fails. True favor is not weighed by what fills your hands, but by the quiet rest that fills your spirit. One day you will look back and see how every frustration was a direction, not a mistake. The pauses, the rejections, the detours, they were movements of divine design guiding you where favor could meet you. Sometimes loss clears space for destiny, and when God's favor finally appears, it carries proof. It cannot be hidden. Those around will see something radiant in you, a glow, a confidence, a grace that logic cannot explain. Opportunities will appear effortlessly. Help will arrive without request. What once ran from you will now be drawn to you, because the presence of God goes before you. What was once heavy will now move with ease. Yet that same favor will test you as much as it blesses you. It will reveal the motives of your heart. Will you remember the prayers that built this season? Will you remain humble when comfort comes? Will you use your gain to uplift others? The purpose of favor is never self-glorification but service. God blesses you to make you a channel of His goodness. So when overflow begins, do not ask only what you can acquire, but what you can contribute. Do not chase ease. Pursue meaning. The true measure of divine favor is not how much you gather, but how much you reflect God through your character. The person walking in favor lives with intention, not indulgence. And when elevation arrives, not everyone will celebrate. Some will question your blessing, some will envy, and some will quietly withdraw. Let them. Favor reveals hearts. It exposes who was loyal to your struggle and who cannot handle your success. Do not waste your peace explaining yourself to those blind to your transformation. The same God who lifted you will also defend you. Sometimes the shock of divine favor is not in what is received, but in who is removed. Elevation demands separation. Old habits, expired environments, and unhealed attachments cannot walk with you into promise. Pruning will come and it will sting, but it is sacred. The pain is temporary. The fruit it produces lasts forever. When you step fully into your appointed season, carry yourself with quiet assurance. You will not need to announce it or justify it. The evidence will speak louder than words. Your peace will reveal it. Your results will confirm it. The transformation itself will testify. God's favor has a sound. It resonates through your actions, your attitude, your atmosphere. It declares His greatness without speech. So walk with holy boldness. Expect boldly. Pray boldly. The same hand that placed the stars, the same power that commands seasons, the same voice that humbles kings and raises nations has His gaze fixed on you. He is not finished. He is just unfolding the next chapter. You thought you were nearing the end, but you are standing at the beginning of something extraordinary. Do not let the present cloud your vision of what is coming. God can shift everything in a single instant. What took years can transform overnight when His will moves. You have been faithful in the shadows. Now He is preparing to reveal you in the light. The tares you planted have watered a harvest of joy, and that harvest is near. Favor is about to find you, not slowly but suddenly. And when it does, you will know beyond doubt that it was His doing, because it will come with peace, with purpose, with power. The same strength that sustained you in waiting will now crown you in winning. Heaven has watched every act of endurance and now prepares to lift you to a place no hand could take you. Stand still in faith. Resist haste. Refuse fear. Just trust, because when God releases the wave of divine favor that has been building in silence, you will overflow with gratitude, wonder, and awe. Your story will shift. Your name will no longer echo struggle but grace, and the world will witness that when God chooses to favor someone, no power, no barrier, no timing can stand against His decree.